Good morning. Good morning, good morning. Good morning, everyone. How are we doing today? Thank you for being here. Thank you for checking in. Welcome to this morning's walk and talk. Today is Monday, August 5th. It is 2025. Good to see you this morning. Thank you for being here. Let's get the day started off nice and smooth. Good morning. Welcome in. Who's that this morning? Zaria. Zaria, how are we doing this morning? Good morning. As always, guys, make sure when you check in, let me know where you're checking in from, what time of day it is where you are. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to Monday morning. Good morning, everyone. Good morning. Who we have? Jack, welcome in. I'm live coming to you from Maryland, East Coast of the United States. It is currently 4:56 a.m. here in Northern Maryland. This is the top of the hill. This is the run. Thank you everyone for being here this morning, for coming out, being a part of the walk and talk. This morning, as always, I'm gonna try to finish this mile. And then we want to talk a little bit. Thank you for being here. For those of you who do not know, my name is Oloropo. I come here in the morning to motivate, encourage, send out blessings, greetings to help you get up. If you got a goal, you got a plan, you got something you're working on, I'm here to let you know you're not alone. There are others, but your path is yours. Go ahead. Don't be afraid to get up and get started. Welcome to the day. Welcome in to this run. Remember, when you check in, let me know where you're checking in from, what time of day it is where you are. We do a mile to get started. I am not a fun run guy, so please be mindful. Still working in repetition, the repetition stages of this. I can feel it wanting to become more of a disciplined thing, but I'm not there yet. The body wants more structure, it wants more regular timing, it wants to track it. The body's asking for me to discipline this behavior and not just keep repeating it. I have not done that yet. Good morning, good morning. Welcome to the run, people. Whew. Jesus. Just a moment. I have to tie my shoe. Vancouver, welcome in. What's that, Bobby? Bobby, be real. No problem, thank you, Bobby. Don't know what that name is. What can I do for you? Smash that like button. Like, subscribe, share. Help get the message out there. Thank you very much. If it's time, people, if you have a workout you're supposed to be doing, if you have studying you're supposed to be doing, anything you said you wanted to work on, and you had a launch date, you had a start date, now is that date, now is that time. T-minus 0 seconds, people. Hit that launch button. Let's get to it. You're officially there. You're officially in the space to go ahead and get started. This is your alarm. The countdown has completed. Let's get up. Let's go, people. Get your feet on the floor. Get your head in the game. Let's go. everyone who has liked, subscribed, and shared, everyone who's joined the channel, joined the community. Thank you. Thank you for your support. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the good morning. And as always, we're gonna go out here this morning and we're gonna do things with purpose, with intention, we're gonna grow. If this is your first time being a part of this walk and talk, welcome in. Thank you for being a part of the movement, for joining the group. What do we have there? We have, does it? All right, unnecessary. We'll ignore that. What is this about? The first beginning is about me completing the repetition stages. I think the name is U or O. First beginning 15, 20 minutes or so are just about me completing the repetition stages of this cardio workout I'm doing. The channel is about how to grow your life, every area, including your finances, with discipline. This walk and talk this morning is about one lie that we're telling ourselves is holding us back. It's one lie. It's one. There are a lot of things that we're doing in our life to move us forward. But there's one lie, one thing that we keep telling ourselves that's preventing us from truly reaching our mark. I gotta catch my breath. I gotta finish this mile right now. We're about 9/10, so not much more to go. Thank you for being here. Thank you for the support, guys. We're about to get into a discussion about growth, development, purpose, action, real things, actionable things, things that we can do today to make significant change, see improvement in our relationships, our attitudes, our behaviors. First mile. Mile is completed. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you for being here. If you haven't done so yet, please drop a thumbs up, double tap. Tap the thumbs up wherever it's at on your screen. We really appreciate it. And again, people, if I'm your alarm clock, if I'm here this morning to let you know that, hey, That thing you said you wanted to do for you is in front of you, and you just needed a reminder to go do it. You have been reminded. It doesn't matter if it's study, if it's about work, relationship, finances, whatever that thing is that you've been saying, hey, I'm gonna get to it, get up, get started. If it's just about understanding better what needs to be done in order to make it happen, get up, get started. Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Let's get to work. You have the ability, you have the time, you have the resources within your reach. If you're ready, let's go, people. Whew. Thank you for being here. Good morning. Hello, everyone. I'm gonna take a moment. I'm gonna try to go back in the chat some. All right. Dimitra, Kumar, good morning, Kumar from India. 156 in LA. All right, LA, that is Jack, Demetria, Bobby, be real. My bathtub. Enjoy it. I understand sometimes you gotta work out vicariously. Lady, what's my running technique? Survival. My running technique is purely survival. Thank you for asking, lady. Mastermind. So good to see you as well, Mastermind. What can I do for you? Yes, like, subscribe, and who is this? So Barb. You don't sacrifice your family, you sacrifice for your family. I don't know if you're here still, so is it So Barb? Brab? If you're still here, please let me know, because I would like for that to be a part of our discussion. That is indeed what I had in mind. Vancouver for Bobby, be real. Thank you very much, Mastermind. Always keep grinding. Body Hunter. I don't know, you got to get up and get out pretty early to catch me, Bobby. Body. I think I discussed what this is about. This morning is specifically going to be about the one lie we tell ourselves about what we're doing and about how we're, about our activity and how that lie is holding us back. So good morning, good morning, good morning. As always, guys, I want to start with a shout out of appreciation and acknowledgement for all of those who are here, who are supporting, all of you who continue to show up on a regular basis and continue to help this community and channel grow. I appreciate you. People like Fable, Ryan, Top Gun, The Greater Conversation, everyone who's here, life, whatever life brings, the baby birds. I want to appreciate your consistent showing up and participation and helping this channel grow and helping this community grow and helping us reach out to connect to more people. What's going on, Ismail? Indeed, welcome back. I sacrificed my dream when I joined the USSR. Okay. Here's the thing, guys. We're gonna have this conversation about sacrifice. I don't know if this is gonna hurt any feelings. I'm really big about mindset. And in order for you to truly have an understanding of what you're doing and how it's working and where you're going, you need to have a mindset. If you don't know what your mindset is, then you're working off a default in someone else's. If you don't have a mindset and you can't define it, you can't give it a parameter, and you don't know what your principles are, which are the things that help shape your mindset, your principles, which helps you define your purpose being what you leave behind, then a lot of questions that come to you are really not gonna land. They're not gonna land because it requires for you to be introspective and take a look at yourself and to truly challenge yourself. Challenge some of the things you think, challenge some of the things that you've heard, what you've been taught, what you've been told, and then make a determination of your own as to where you are and who you want to be and where you're going. Why is that relevant in this conversation? Because this morning, we're talking about sacrifice. And I'll tell you the lie that we tell ourselves that is holding us back. We tell ourselves that we've made sacrifices. You don't understand how much I sacrificed. You don't understand what I gave up. You don't understand what I lost. Here's the thing about sacrifices, people. And I know for a lot of us, it may be difficult to understand because we've lived in a world where constantly we've been told that we have to make sacrifices. And we think the things that we do that we're supposed to do are sacrifices. And they're not. It's not a sacrifice for you to take a job that says you need to be up and at work at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you get up and get to work at 8 o'clock in the morning. That is not a sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice for you to go to bed at 2 o'clock in the morning, knowing you have to be up at 6 o'clock in the morning. I gave up my night. You did not. I sacrificed sleep. Did not. That is a required behavior. We need to stop lying to ourselves. And I'm giving it to you at the very beginning, people. We don't have to go an hour into this in order to get to this message. Good morning, Ryan. Welcome up, brother. How you doing? Big ups. One love indeed. You do not have to go 3 hours into this, and I'm going to cover it in more detail as we go. But if you're ready to go and you need to get out into your day and you want the bottom line is stop lying and saying you're sacrificing things when you're not. You're just doing what you're supposed to be doing. It's not a sacrifice. It's not a sacrifice. I put out a short a few days ago about getting your flowers. When people have expectations that they come to you and they want to identify when you're doing your work and you make mistakes and you're growing and you're learning and your loved ones and your friends and your family and the people around you want to point out when you make those mistakes. And then when you decide to do something that you've never done before, they want to talk to you and tell you all the ways that it can't be done. They want to explain to you all the shortcomings and the ways where it's impossible. And then when you get it right, they want to come to you and be like, oh, I guess that little thing of yours worked out. And they're not acknowledging the work that you did, the time that you put in. That's because so many people don't know what sacrifice is. You can't sacrifice something you never had. You can't sacrifice something that was never in your possession. Your time comes daily. In order for you to truly make a sacrifice, one, it needs to be important to you, people. Stop trying to say you sacrifice stuff that you really didn't care about. Stop trying to say you sacrifice stuff which you didn't need in your life in the first place. This is what makes overcoming addiction hard. This is what it is, like that's a sacrifice. So we always use the term sacrifice in one of two ways. Either to glorify ourselves, to put ourselves up on a pedestal and say, I sacrificed so much for so many people and they can't tell. Look at my sacrifice. We either talk about it to say that we're so good and how much we did, or we use it to put somebody else down and say that their decisions, they sacrificed their family. They sacrificed their life. They sacrificed their livelihood because of their decisions that don't align with your moral code or where you think they should be or how you think they should act. Sacrifice is a significant word, and we use it too lightly. We use it just as lightly as we use the word love, just as lightly as we use the word commitment, the word discipline, compassion. We use these words so frivolously. Oh, I made sacrifices. It's a lie. Have you? Have you truly made sacrifices? Have you truly done things, put aside things that had value for you because you had to get somewhere? You knew the work that you had to do was important? Do you sacrifice for your faith? And when I mean sacrifice for your faith, do you look at these things that are important to you? These things that you've gotten attached to, these things that have value to you, and you say, I'm gonna sit these aside because my faith requires that I take certain actions. And this is a true sacrifice. I'm not talking about, do you pay your tithes? Oh, I gave 10%. One, that's not what tithes were meant for. It's not. Do the history on it. Look it up. Old Testament was written in Hebrew. It literally said a tenth. And it's a tenth of what you made extra. It was a tenth of what you had left for yourself after you reaped your benefits. And if you didn't have a tenth, to give in value, it was never tied to income. That's something we created. That's a tax that the church created, which is why the church wanted to be separate from the state. Do your study. Understand what people say about tithes. And they say, well, give a tenth. Give a tenth of your income before tax. No, you have to give, the government gets theirs. We need to get ours before your taxes as well. It's not what it meant. It simply meant of whatever you seeded, whatever you grew, whatever you planted, if there was enough to sustain your family, you gave to the church because the Levites did not work. The people who worked the church did not work. Their job was to stay in intercession for you and God. There was no bloodshed. There was no sacrifice to redeem you to the Savior. That's what you did. You cared for those who could not care for themselves. That's what you provided for. That's why the garments were standard and they were donated. That's what you did. That's how you provided. And until the sacrifice of Christ, that is how we cared for the church. So when we talk about sacrifice, let's not use it so loosely. Let's not keep saying I'm sacrificing things in order for me to reach my goal, and we're truly not. We're not sacrificing. We're not putting on an altar this thing that we hold so precious and we can't give up on. We're not sacrificing lust of the flesh. We won't put it on the altar and sacrifice it. We haven't sacrificed our love of money. We haven't truly sacrificed it. In order for us to find out, I need to give up on this love of money that I have in order to be able to work on myself. I have to give up with this infatuation I have with having the best clothes and being like the next person next to me so that I can work on me. That's what true sacrifice is. When we start talking about things that are important to us, things that we've been taught that have value, and then understanding in order for us to grow, we have to sacrifice those things. We have to sacrifice it. Right? We throw sacrifice out there too easy. Too easy. Sacrifice was a letting of blood. It was, it was significant. You had to line up. It had to be something valuable. You walk in there, you're like, well, I'm prepared to sacrifice my broken, I'm prepared to sacrifice my broken NDS for, with one controller. I'm gonna sacrifice that, I'm gonna donate that. Right? I'm prepared to make sacrifices on things that are already in the way of where I'm going. And really, I'm just changing my behaviors to the ones that they're supposed to be for me to achieve my goal. James says, my sacrifice comes from my heart to make sure my family has what we need. My family needs are my goals. Eklon said, man, I'm gonna call the cops. Call them, man. They can learn about sacrifice too. I hear what you're saying. I hear exactly what you're saying, James. And you're right. We make sacrifices for our family. But what's truly a sacrifice, and what's the thing that we're doing because we're supposed to be doing it, James? Right? James, if you're still there, tell me what one of the sacrifices that you made for your family are. What's a sacrifice that you personally make? I want to hear from you. What's a sacrifice that you make for your family? Right? Because a lot of times we do the work that's supposed to be done. Sacrifices are not a daily thing. Sacrifices are not, hey man, every day I get up and I sacrifice. No, every day you get up and you do what you're supposed to do. Every day you get up and you do what you're supposed to do. This is the thing you're supposed to do. And a lot of the things, and this is why the lie is holding us back, is we tell ourselves that it's a sacrifice to get up and go to work. We tell ourselves it's a sacrifice not to go to a football game and to pay the water bill. We tell ourselves it's a sacrifice to care for our children and clothe our children and clean our house. And it's not. It's not a sacrifice. It's not. We need to stop telling ourselves this lie that we're sacrificing when we're doing what we're supposed to do. And don't get me wrong, I am not diminishing what we do. I'm not diminishing the work that you do. I understand the effort, the focus, the repetition, the discipline that's required to achieve these things and keep working. I am not knocking you for it, but let's stop calling them sacrifices. Sacrifices are sincere. You want to know what a sacrifice is? Here's your sacrifice. You got a wife, you got 3 kids, you had a job, you're making pretty good money, and then they offer you another job. And that job says, man, we can pay you 3 times more what you're currently being paid. However, we will need you to travel. All of your children are under the age of 12. And you understand that if you work this job, you're gonna be able to provide a future for your children that you never thought possible, that was unimaginable. It's gonna give you wealth. And to the point where you'll be able, you're 3 times in your income overnight. You're making 3 times more. You can change so many things. You can change how the family connects, the vacations, the amount of freedom you'll be able to have on the time that you don't have to work. But you need to move your family away from your mother. You need to move your family away from your dad. You need to move far away. It's a complete change. You want to be able to provide them with things, but it's not going to be in the space they're in, not in the space they're comfortable with. You want to know what sacrifice is? It don't matter which one of those decisions you make. You're going to have to put something on the altar, and you're going to have to let blood. I ain't never been this far away from my mother, your wife tells you. Your wife lets you know, I've never been this far away from my family, ever. I've never had to do anything like this. Good morning, Rich. I've never had to do anything that required for me to not be near my mother. You know my mother's sick. You know my mother's currently getting treatment. If we move away, how do we get back? Well, maybe I can just go. Maybe, what if I just go? What if I go? I give up the next 1.5 years with the family, and I go and I just get started. And then we find a way to get together. I don't know how to have a long distance relationship. I don't know what to do when the children are going to want to see you. When you sacrifice that, when you say, hey, I have a purpose and I have a calling, something's getting sacrificed right there. That's a sacrifice. Those are things when you can feel it. In the moment you make the decision, you can feel it. I'm not saying that the work that we do is not hard. I'm not saying that getting up in the morning and doing what you're supposed to do is not something that does not require discipline and focus and determination and an understanding of your purpose. It does for all of those things. It does, but it is not a sacrifice. It is what we do. People confuse the short that I put out that came from a whole live. That was a whole live. And that live was about getting up and doing the things that are necessary for you to do and stepping over haters. Understand that there'll be people that are stand in front of you. If we go back to this last example, there'll be people that are stand in front of you and say, how can you leave your family? How can you walk away from your wife and her mother and your children for money? How can you do it? It's because I know the life that I can give my children that I never had. I know how hard it is. You ever dropped the baby off at daycare? Huh? You ever dropped the baby off at daycare for the first time? Hurt you more than it hurt the baby? They got little cameras now. You check in on the camera. Baby done got over it 3 minutes later. You sitting in the car crying in the parking lot for 3.5 hours because you feel like you just destroyed this baby's life. Sacrifice. Do you understand? When we start talking about sacrifice, it's meaningful. Stop saying that you're sacrificing things when we're not. That's the lie that's holding us back. And why I say that is because there is a level of sacrifice that we can get to. There is a level that we can get to that is actual sacrifice. But it's not a daily thing. You're not sacrificing sugar. You take in too much sugar. Eat less sugar. That's not a sacrifice. You're not sacrificing your time to work out and work on yourself and to study. That's not a sacrifice of your time. If you want that thing, you need to do that work. That's not a sacrifice. Stop calling it a sacrifice. I'm telling you this as a person who understands that there are challenges. The moment you say you want something, there's going to be a challenge. And those challenges are going to need to be met. But let's stop calling them sacrifices. This is why I am prepared to honor and salute those who go into the armed service. Because, one of the first things you have to accept when you go into the military is that you may not ever come back. And for whatever your reason for joining, for whatever your reason of signing up, you are prepared to sacrifice everything else in your future, everything else that you currently have, every relationship you currently have. You are prepared to say, hey, I get it. This might be the end of it right here. We have people who die in basic training, getting ready to get ready. There's a sacrifices. We have Melissa. Unless you have a toxic family, you raise your child alone. In fact, delivered her alone. I never had a relationship with a man because I never wanted a swinging door. I wish I didn't move. I never had a family. Every day I did, working 16 hours. I did sacrifice for material things because there is things here I couldn't give her the life she needed. You did the work you wanted to do. Let's find out what the true sacrifice is, Melissa. You didn't sacrifice. Are you saying, I didn't. I worked 16 hours. I didn't sacrifice for material things because there is things here I couldn't give her the life that she needed. Are we talking about your daughter? I'm not saying he does. See, already you're getting me wrong, Elkan. Why he needed to sacrifice something for his family. He did not ask to be born. They make him, they need to make sacrifice. Here's the thing. I'm not saying you do have to sacrifice. I'm just saying stop saying that the things that you do that you're supposed to do are sacrifices. They're the things, listen, man. we use this word too easy and it lets us off the hook. It's how we shirk responsibility. It's how we set aside the things that we need to be doing anyway. Anyway, for the things we say we want. In order for us to get things that we say we want, we have to do the things that are necessary to acquire those things, right? So if we say we want something, anything we say we want, we got to do it. You got to put the controller down long enough to order Uber Eats or whoever you get your food from to get it delivered. You ain't sacrifice. Oh man, I sacrificed that round because I had to order myself something to eat. You needed to eat. You probably need to sacrifice the game. Set that joint on fire. If it's not bringing you returns. I'm talking about real sacrifice. Not everything we do is a sacrifice. You'll know a sacrifice when you see it. You'll know a sacrifice when you encounter it. And I'm talking about in both directions. I'm not just talking about for the good. I'm talking about for the bad also. It's really easy to look at someone and say, man, you sacrifice your family for your drug habit. It wasn't a sacrifice. That person is dealing with demons. That person is dealing with hell. That person is going through it and can't get out. Here's the question. Are you willing to sacrifice your job to go get them? Oh no, man, I gotta pay my bills. I can't afford to be down there holding them. I can't afford to go get my brother and hug him. I can't afford to go down there and see my sister in jail. I got government clearance, man. I can't let my sister live in my house. Are you prepared to sacrifice? I'm talking about hard decisions that make you say, hey, I got something. I got a good bit of it. But for you, I'll put it on the altar. I'll crucify it. Stop saying you sacrifice when you're just doing what you're supposed to be doing. It holds us back. It keeps us from taking actions that we can take that can help move us forward. But we already thinking, I sacrifice most of my day for you. No, you don't. You go to work. You're supposed to. You're not sacrificing your job. You're not sacrificing your time to wash clothes. Clothes need to be cleaned. You're not sacrificing your time on the metro. You might be consuming it or wasting it because you're not taking advantage of the opportunity to learn and work on yourself and grow, but it's not a sacrifice. You're not sacrificing your education to get a job. You need a job. You're making decisions. If you don't like the decision you made and you don't like the way it's working out for you, you ain't got to call it a sacrifice. Change your mind. Decide to do something else. Stop trying to blame everyone. Stop trying to look at every situation and say that you've made sacrifices. This is important, guys. And it's important because there are spaces for sacrifices, but there are so many more spaces for required behavior. There are so many more spaces for just doing what we know we're supposed to be doing. I'm not trying to knock anybody. I'm not trying to tear anybody down. I'm not trying to say that the work that you're doing isn't important. I just want you to know it's not a sacrifice. It's not fair for your family. It is not fair for your family as a man to say, I'm sacrificing myself for my family. No, you're not. Let somebody kick in that door and you use yourself as a body shield. That's a sacrifice. When the shots rang out and they attempted to assassinate Donald Trump, the man that laid his body on top of his wife and children sacrificed. I give it up. This is my life. I'm giving it up because I care about you, because I love you. Without question, in an instant, in a moment, I'm gonna sacrifice it. Don't keep telling me because you gotta get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and go to work that you're sacrificing. You're not, you're doing the work. Here's the thing, I'll give you your flowers for it. I'll congratulate you. Good job. Well done. I get it. It's not easy. There are a lot of people who don't do it. There are a lot of people who can't forego things for others. There are a lot of people who can't see the value in the work that they do that benefits others, so that it's just the work that they do. But it doesn't make it sacrifice. Stop trying to put the required behaviors for you to achieve the required goal down as sacrifices. Can't place that burden on your children. Tell your children, I sacrificed my youth for you. No, you didn't. You had children. You did what you needed to do to take care of your children. That's not a sacrifice. That's work. That's work. You're going to say you're sacrificing to put yourself up on a pedestal, but another young lady does the same thing and puts the child up for the adoption, and all of a sudden she's a horrible person because she understood she didn't have the wherewithal and the ability to care for that child. We sit here and we play God and we judge people. And we want to lift ourselves up and say we sacrificed ourselves. We sacrificed for others. And it's just the stuff we needed to be doing anyway. This lie is holding us back. It's stopping you from reaching your full potential because you think these things that you do that are required, that are necessary for you to have the things you have, are sacrifices. They're not. It's not a sacrifice. Unless you stayed in an extremely hostile environment because you didn't want to quit. One day, everything changed mentally. I feel like I lost my identity. I loved it, but it broke me. I tried to get back on track for 2 years. I feel like I'm getting bits and pieces of your story, Melissa, not the whole thing. Zach says, look at Cain and Abel. God sees the difference of the real sacrifice offering this man is talk about. That's a very good example, Zach. Simple Chris, betting on myself. Betting on yourself is good to do. Good morning, Simple Chris. Thanks for being here. It's important, people. Look, I get really passionate. Sometimes people would mistake my passion for anger. I'm not an angry person. I have a beautiful wife. I have 7 children. I get up in the morning, I come out here and I do these walk-in talks. Some of the difficult sacrifices that we look at in our life have to do with choices we have to make that we understand may not be understood until well after we're gone. Things that we say, hey, look, I get it. I get it. Like, man, I never had a chance like this. We go back to the example I said before of having a time to increase your income by 3 times and significantly changing the life of your children, your wife, your family, and your future. But knowing in order to do it, you're gonna have to walk away from your family. You're gonna get far less time you get with them now. You're not gonna be able to see the school plays. You're not gonna be able to go to practice. You're not gonna be able to throw the ball around in the backyard. You gotta move the family away just to have an opportunity to see them on a semi-regular basis. You gotta move them away from the rest of the family, away from your parents, away from all of the things that are important to you right now. Those things you have right now that you enjoy, your friends and family, those cookouts, that ability to go down and just hang out and talk and spend time and watch games together. Those things that you do that are important to you, but you have an opportunity to change your life and the future of your family. And it's not a trick. It's not evil. It's just the work that you've been doing. You've done to a point where someone has come to you. You've worked on you well enough that someone has come to you and they say, we see you, we see your talent, and we need it. We're thirsting for it. My company needs your type of talent, your type of leadership. You are exactly what my company needs, and I'm prepared to compensate you exponentially just to have an opportunity to have you share it. Life-changing opportunity for your family. It doesn't matter which decision you make. It doesn't matter. Here's the true thing though, and I'm gonna be completely honest with you. You can't sacrifice something you never had. It's not fair to your children. Don't you say, well, no, I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna keep this job I have. There's some great opportunities. There's some financial opportunities, but my life is here, my family is here, and I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna stay where I'm at. I'm gonna have to forego this opportunity because right now where I'm at, I need to focus. This is the life that I wanna live. And I don't wanna take my wife and my family away from here. I'm gonna have to say no. Guess what? Turning that job down is not a sacrifice. It's not fair for you to tell these children who are all under 12, 8 years from now, when they turn 20 and they don't wanna listen to you, and they don't wanna do nothing you said, when your daughter goes out and gets pregnant as a teenager, when your son gets a drug addiction, when whatever happens in life turns into whatever it is, it's not fair for you to come back to them and say, I sacrificed a good job for you. That's not a sacrifice. It's not fair when this woman you married to, 5 years from now, things happen, the relationship goes south, and all of a sudden y'all in a tight spot, and you don't have the opportunity anymore to take this job. It's not fair to you to turn around to her and say, I sacrificed this job for you. I sacrificed another life that I could have had for you. That's not a sacrifice, that's a choice. You can't sacrifice something you didn't have. It's not fair for you to hold it over the heads of the people who you say you sacrificed it for. Sacrifice is selfless. We have to stop telling ourselves these lies that say we're sacrificing things for things that we're just doing. And I'm telling you, I get it, I agree, because we're doing it. Because we're doing it doesn't mean it's easy. Because we're doing it doesn't mean that everybody else can. Because we're doing it doesn't mean that we don't need somebody. And this is what I mean when I tell you, give that person their flowers. Go tell your dad, go tell your mom, I love you. Listen, the work you did for me wasn't a sacrifice, but I'm doing that same work right now. And I understand now the love that's required for you to do what you did. I understand how much of you when a parent, listen, growing up, my parents used to tell me this is gonna hurt me way more than it's gonna hurt you. When they went to spank me, you're like, this is gonna hurt me more than it hurts you. You're a liar. And the truth ain't in you. There ain't no way I'm looking at this belt. This is not gonna hurt you more than it hurts me. Just yesterday, my youngest child, my little daughter, she's in the throes of the terrible twos. You can't leave nothing nowhere. Went downstairs, made myself a little something to eat, put most of the stuff away, went into my office. She's in there playing with her sisters. Older sister come in and she says, Daddy, I think you might want to take a look at Sorcerer. I'm like, what are you talking about, baby? She's got a little something orange on her. I'm like, oh, probably crown, marker. You know, they do that stuff. Maybe she got a little mark on her. She's like, Daddy, I think you need to come take a look. Go take a look. This girl then took the whole top off the paprika and poured it out. It's just rubbing it. Sweetheart, we can't touch stuff in the kitchen. Who left the paprika out? That's me. That was me. I left the paprika out. That was on me. That wasn't on the baby. Who's supposed to be watching the baby? That's on me. I'm supposed to be watching the baby. Make sure the baby taken care of. Make sure the baby's safe. I don't want to pop her little hand. Baby, pop. Don't you be touching. You can't touch stuff in the kitchen. The stuff is dangerous in the kitchen. Yeah, man, but you were supposed to be there. You're supposed to, this is your time. You're on the clock. It's not a sacrifice for you to sit down and play with your daughter and care for your daughter and watch your daughter and walk away from your page. That's not a sacrifice. That's a requirement. My wife walks around the house and cleans up. My 2-year-old is like, I'm gonna help clean up. Every time you put something away, I'm gonna take it out. Listen, this is how I understand cleaning up. This is as much as my 2-year-old knows about cleaning up. Everything my wife puts away, she takes out. My wife is like, you have got to stop. This is not okay. You made the original mess that I'm cleaning up, and every time I pick something up, you take it back out and you redo the mess. Turn around, Soren, stop. Man, broke my heart. Her little face, devastated. I had 7 children. Every time hurts me more than it hurts them. Every time, I understand now. That's not a sacrifice. That's work that needs to be done. If anything, we understand that now. I don't care how bad your parents were. Your parents were learning the same way you were learning. I don't care what your parents went through. I'm not telling you you got to go back and forgive your parents. I'm not telling you you got to go back and make amends. I'm not telling you any of that. But we're figuring it out. We're figuring it out. So that's enough for us to know where we are, whatever we're doing in our life. Stop saying the things that we do that we're supposed to do, the things that we chose to do, the things we signed up to do, the things we're happy about doing, the things we tell people that we do. Stop saying that those are sacrifices. It's holding us back. It's not a sacrifice. It's a part of the work that has to be done to get where we're going. It's a part of the work that has to be done. You're trying to build your finances. You're trying to save some money. You're trying to invest. You're trying to look into your future. Stop saying that you sacrifice something to be able to have this life. You ain't sacrificing. It's not a sacrifice. You're doing the thing you need to do to get to the place you want to be. We can't say that everything is a sacrifice because everything isn't. Good morning. Mr. Tahoe says, makes sense to a toddler though. It does make sense to a toddler. Absolutely makes sense to her. Okay, you picked it up, you folded, you put it in there. All right, so that's what you enjoy doing. Let me get this back out and sit on the floor. Hey, mommy, there it is. I tell you what this 2-year-old can do though. She can fold a freaking washcloth like no other. Every time laundry come upstairs, she go in it. She be like, where the washcloths? She'll look and get mad if you don't look. Get mad if you fold them. I started folding them one day. I was folding towels and folding linens. Man, every time I picked up a washcloth, she got mad. She jumped and yelled. I had to unfold 3 washcloths so she could fold them. What'd she do? You ain't got to talk to her no more. You sit down on a laundry basket and just sit there. And she gonna find the washcloths and bring them to you. Daddy, they done. Take them to her big brother, Rail. They done. Does make sense to her. But the whole reason I brought this up, people, is because the things that we do, the work that we do, when we start talking about sacrifices, you start talking about hurting your child when you say or do something, but you know that you're invested in the best thing for this child, only the best possible outcome for this child. You understand that the time and the investment that you're giving is designed for a future that you believe will be great for your child, understanding also that they can grow up and tell you you're absolutely wrong because that's what you did to your parents. That's what you're doing to your parents right now. Mom, Dad, you're not listening. No, things have changed. Stop living in the 1940s, 1950s. No, this is not how you're gonna go. No, this is not what you do with your house. No, that's not how it works. Don't give that person your credit card number. You're doing it right now, caring for your parents. Think back to when you were 16 and you told them they didn't know nothing. Think back to when you were 18 and you were heading off to school and they ain't have good sense. They didn't know what they were talking about when they told you everything that you were going to do and you did. Stop saying it's a sacrifice. It's what we chose. It's the path we chose, and there's required work that goes with it. And we understand that everything that we're doing is for them, but it's not a sacrifice. You can't lay that on your child's back. I sacrificed myself. I sacrificed my life because I got pregnant with you. I gave up on my dreams. I gave up on my dreams to be a stay-at-home mother. That's not fair to that child. It's not the right thing to do. It's not the right way to approach. So what does this mean, people? It means we have to stop telling ourselves this lie. We have to accept and we have to understand, and I am a true believer, I am a firm believer that the work that we do goes towards a purpose. And that if we're truly entitled or truly intended on finding and serving a purpose in our life, that it comes from understanding our principles and working towards it. When we do that, we stop making things sacrifices that are just behaviors required to get there. And we stop hanging sacrifices on people's back. You have to understand, when you say you sacrifice something, you turn that thing, you turn that sacrifice into a burden for someone. You understand that? We think sacrifices are all good, people. And this is the end of it. This is the part that you stuck around for. This is what you stayed here to hear. When you say you sacrifice something, you are hanging a bar, a weight on someone else's back. The moment you say, I sacrificed for you, you're saying you owe me something. I sacrificed this for you. You owe me. Jesus sacrificed his life. God sacrificed his only son. You owe me nothing. God even did the sacrifice and said, hey, you owe me nothing. I did this because I wanted you to have the opportunity to do it. You have an opportunity to choose not to. You can choose whatever path you want. You can choose whatever life you want. But I want this to be available for you. I'm sacrificing this as a blessing to you, to your life. I'm sacrificing it. You would turn around and tell somebody you sacrificed the life you could have had. I sacrificed my body. I sacrificed my youth. I sacrificed all my time. No, you made a choice. You made a decision. And you're doing what you're supposed to do to hold up your end of the bargain. That is not a sacrifice. Stop burdening your children with your life choices. Trying to tell your children that you sacrifice so much for them. No, you made a life choice. The same way your children are going to make life choices. And then you do what's necessary to succeed or be successful in that choice you made. Stop hanging this burden on other people because it's holding us back. Carry your own. Understand, I'm doing this because I chose to, and there's more than I can do. As soon as you turn it into a sacrifice, you're at the point where you want to stand up, puff your chest out, and say, I don't need to do as much. I've already done enough. I've sacrificed enough. Sacrifice is a big word. Stop walking around saying that you sacrificed something when we didn't. Because it's holding us back. Tell you what, look for an opportunity to sacrifice. Not to give, not to assist. Look for an opportunity to actually sacrifice. And then see what sacrifice is. I'm telling you, this is the lie that we tell ourselves that allows for us to walk around and talk about how much we sacrificed, how much food we sacrificed, how much time we sacrifice, how many relationships we sacrifice to work on our job or go to our school, or how many things we sacrifice to take care of our children. We made decisions, we made choices, we did the things that needed to be done. These are not sacrifices. Stop characterizing them as such. Because true sacrifice is true sacrifice, and you'll know it when you see it. Mr. Tahoe says, I have a 15-year-old daughter. I tell her things because I want her to do better than I am. Indeed, I have a 16-year-old son. I tell him the exact same thing. Everything that come out my son, everything come out my mouth, my son say, no, daddy. Yeah. He's like, no. I'm like, what do you mean, no? I said the milk's in the refrigerator. Like, 16. He's become, listen, I taught him from the beginning. I'm like, you've got to question things. You can't take everything that comes out of somebody's mouth at face value. You have to ask questions. You have to look deeper. Guess what? Guess whose mouth he hears the most? Guess whose mouth he questions the most? Mine. Excellent young man, beautiful future, 16-year-old, knows everything. But I love him, and the things that I do aren't a sacrifice, as frustrating as it can be sometimes. The things that I share, the things that I say, the information that he absolutely refuses to take. The things I say, and he was like, I didn't even have a plan on how to do it, but now that you said that, I'm gonna do it the opposite way. That feeling, you ever get that feeling? Yes, that's not a sacrifice. I chose this. I chose this life, and I love it. And I'm not sacrificing by doing these things. I'm doing these things because these are the things that go with being who I am. Lincoln said, Mr. Tahoe, yes, sir. We want them to be better. Mr. Tahoe said, when we parent, we develop ourselves in ways we never would have without being parents. Absolutely. Mr. Tahoe also said, we grow in ways we never would have, don't we? Simple Chris says, my 14-year-old's the same way. Teenagers, we've been there. Mr. Tahoe said, critical thinking is important, super important. Simple Chris says, she questions everything. Every word. Simply Chris said, Chris, every word. It doesn't even matter what the word is. It's like, you hungry? Why should I be hungry? No, baby, this doesn't have to be a fight. Listen, this one doesn't have to be a fight. I'm just getting something. I'm picking up something to eat. I just want to know if you're hungry. Lincoln said, facts. I always tell my daughters, question dad as well. I'm not always right. I'm not always right. And then they ask you questions where you know you're right, and you were like, listen, you remember when I told you question me? This isn't one of these times. And what I'm telling you right now is fact. I'm teaching you something right now. I'm not asking you something. No, daddy, you said question you. Listen, here's what I want to know. What? You don't stop comparing yourself to me. Oh, y'all, I'm going into some feelings right now. Give me a second. Let me get myself together. Listen, it's important, man. The work that we do is important as people. The work we do on ourselves, the work we do for our loved ones, the work that we do in our lives, the work that we do in our jobs, it requires discipline. It requires dedication. It requires an understanding and an expectation. It requires all of those things, but it doesn't require sacrifice. What we do is not always considered sacrifice. Let's stop hanging burdens on people by saying that we're sacrificing something by doing what we need to do, what's supposed to be done. Let's free ourselves and free others from this burden. Students, let me see, Zona says, it seems like questioning things actually frees your mind and gives you clarity. It does. Questions are the key to understanding clarity, getting understanding, and being able to move forward. So guys, thank you so much for being here this morning. Thank you for taking a part. Thank you for sharing in this walk and talk, being here, supporting me on the run. As I said in the beginning, people, this is the one lie that's holding us back, is telling ourselves that the things that we do that we're supposed to be doing are sacrifices. They are not. They're the things we're supposed to do. Let's stop using the word sacrifice as a burden for others and a way to promote and to promote and glorify ourselves. Let's stop doing that. As we get ready to head out here today, I just want to say once again, thank you for being here, guys. Thank you so much. We're still on our path to reach 2,500 subscribers. I'm trying to find out, come up with a name for this community. Don't have one. If you guys have any suggestions, please feel free to share. Also, thank you for participating or supporting me on my 30-day, twice-a-day challenge to post to the page. I really appreciate those of you who've come in, who've commented, and who've watched these shorts. As we get ready to go, as always, keep in mind, if you want to support the page, there is information in the bio where you can make donations directly to support the page. They help to purchase new equipment and improve on the quality of the product that we offer here. And also there's the store where you can go in and you can shop for B&V merchandise, specifically shirts, hoodies, hats, and caps. I'd appreciate you guys take a look, see what's there. Feel free to pick something out and purchase it. And as always, thank you so much for being here, guys. Thank you for being a part of this journey and a process. And remember, discipline has 4 pillars. Repetition, it's going to be followed by patience, which is going to need consistency, and then it's going to end with perseverance. Keep in mind, all 3 things work on the thing, perseverance works on you. Mr. Tahoe says, developing that LLC we talked about. Keep up the work, Mr. Tahoe, and yes, I am developing mine on this end as well. Thank you very much for asking and staying on top of it. And for the last thing, guys, is we're headed out for the day as always. Today is Monday. It is October the 5th. It is now 6:04 in the a.m. here on the East Coast, guys. So as always, headed out. Keep showing up. Keep blowing up. Keep growing up. I'll see you guys next time. God bless.